There is a product sitting in millions of American nurseries right now that costs almost nothing to buy, and then quietly takes $200 a year out of your pocket for as long as your baby wears diapers. It was designed that way on purpose. The device is cheap. The refills are where they get you. That single idea, the cheap thing that hooks you into the expensive thing, is the thread that runs through this entire video. Because the baby industry has quietly mastered a trick that has nothing to do with your child and everything to do with your wallet. The product isn't the problem. The refill is. And once you see that pattern, you cannot unsee it. Now, I am going to be straight with you the whole way through because most videos like this just yell at you to throw everything out. That is not what this is. Some of these products genuinely help some families, and I will say so. Value is personal, but there is a difference between a product you chose and a product that was engineered to keep charging you. By the end of this, you will know exactly which 10 baby products a room full of pediatricians and veteran parents would tell you to skip, and the 4 they would tell you to spend real money on without blinking. And one of these so-called waste of money products is not just a waste. It was recalled after being linked to the deaths of babies. We will get to that, and it will change how you look at the whole nursery aisle. Let me start with the machine you are actually up against, because it is bigger than you think. The global baby products market was worth roughly $52 billion in 2024, according to market research firms. $52 billion. And here is the strange part. Birth rates are falling, yet the money spent per baby keeps climbing. That means the pressure aimed at each new parent is going up, not down. And who protects you from that pressure? Almost no one. Think about which agencies are actually watching. The Consumer Product Safety Commission checks whether a product is physically dangerous. The Food and Drug Administration handles health claims. The Federal Trade Commission steps in when marketing crosses into lying. But not a single one of them ever asks the question you actually care about, which is this thing worth the money? There is no agency on earth that certifies whether a baby product earns its price tag. That judgment falls entirely on you, a sleep-deprived new parent standing in a store at 11 at night, surrounded by boxes that all promise to make you a better mom or dad. So we have to separate 2 very different things, and I'm going to keep them apart the whole way through because blending them is how these videos mislead you. The first kind of problem is simply wasted money, a product that works, but that you did not need, or that a cheaper thing does just as well. That is an opinion, a value judgment shared by pediatricians and experienced parents, not a scandal. The second kind is completely different. That is a product that is not just overpriced, but has an actual safety recall attached to it, with a government agency, a date, and a number of injuries or deaths on the record. Those are facts. And when we reach those, you will hear the difference in how I talk about them. Here is your anchor stat, the one worth remembering. The American Academy of Pediatrics estimates families spend close to $936 on disposable diapers in just the first year, roughly $18 a week, and a baby goes through more than 3,000 diapers before their first birthday. Diapers you cannot avoid, so let us make sure every other dollar is spent on purpose, starting with the products that do the least. Let us begin with the harmless little wastes, the ones that will not hurt anybody except your bank account. The wipe warmer. It sounds so kind, warm wipes for a tiny bottom. But Dr. Tomomi Hayashi, a pediatrician with Stanford Children's Health, warns they are not necessary and can actually propagate bacterial growth, and that some wipes simply dry out inside them. Consumer Reports has flagged the same bacteria concern. And here is the practical truth. Your baby will use room temperature wipes everywhere outside your house anyway, so you are training them to need something you cannot always provide. Next, baby shoes for a baby who cannot walk. They are adorable, and they are pure decoration. The American Academy of Pediatrics says plainly that babies learn to walk by gripping the ground with their toes, which is easier without shoes, and that a baby's feet will develop just as well without footwear. Little sneakers on a newborn do nothing but photograph well. Then there is special baby laundry detergent, the classic being Dreft. It markets itself as the #1 pediatrician-recommended baby detergent. But dermatologists will tell you that what sensitive baby skin actually needs is simply a fragrance-free, dye-free formula, and a plain, free and clear detergent delivers exactly that. By one cost analysis, Dreft runs around 22 to 27 cents per load, while a free and clear detergent can be closer to 9 to 12 cents. Over a year, and for the whole family, that gap adds up, for a difference that is mostly the smell and the label. And the dedicated changing table, a whole piece of single-purpose furniture your baby outgrows in about 2 years. A contoured changing pad strapped to the top of a dresser does the identical job, and the dresser lasts through childhood. None of those 4 will harm your baby. They will just quietly drain you. But the next group is where the industry gets genuinely clever, because these are not one-time purchases. These are traps that keep charging you, month after month. And that is where our anchor comes roaring back. Remember, the product isn't the problem, the refill is. The perfect example is the proprietary diaper pail, like the diaper genie. The pail itself is cheap, sometimes given away because it is locked to special refill cartridges that only that brand makes. Independent reviewers estimate those refills can run over $200 a year. Compare that to a competitor like the Ubby, or frankly a regular trash can with a lid, both of which take any standard kitchen bag you already buy. The pail was never the product. The cartridge was. That is razor and blades economics aimed at your nursery. You see the same logic in the baby food maker. Machines like the Baby Brezza that steam and blend, running around $100 to $150. As the reviewers at Truly Mama put it, it is not accomplishing anything you could not easily do with a pot and a stick blender, which are much cheaper and probably already in your kitchen. The only thing you are really buying is fewer dishes. And the electric bottle sterilizer, $40 to $90 to zap germs. But here is what the Centers for Disease Control and the American Academy of Pediatrics actually say. For a healthy, full-term baby, you sterilize once before first use. After that, washing in hot soapy water or running them through the dishwasher is enough. Daily sterilizing is only advised for newborns under about 2 months, premature babies, or babies with weakened immune systems. For most families, that machine is doing a job your dishwasher already finished. Then there is the one that made it all the way to a federal complaint. For years, Baby Einstein videos were sold to parents as educational, as a way to make your baby smarter. Except the American Academy of Pediatrics recommends no screen time at all under 18 months, apart from video chat. And in 2009, after the marketing was challenged, Disney began offering refunds on Baby Einstein DVDs, roughly $16 for up to 4 of them. Researchers at the University of Washington had even found that babies between 8 and 16 months understood fewer words for every hour a day they spent watching baby videos. The educational promise was not just weak, it was walked back. So that is a whole shelf of products that are simply not worth it. But if you thought paying for something useless was bad, the next category is worse, because these products do not just waste your money. Some of them were pulled from shelves after babies died. And this is where my tone has to change. I need to be precise here, because these are not opinions. These are recalls on the public record. Start with the infant lounger, those soft, curved little cushions babies nap in. They look like the safest, coziest thing in the room. In September of 2021, The Boppy company recalled about 3.3 million newborn loungers after the Consumer Product Safety Commission linked them to at least 8 infant deaths, a number that later rose to at least 10. The danger is suffocation. A baby's airway can become blocked against the soft sides. Then the inclined sleeper, most famously the Fisher-Price Rock and Play. It was a blockbuster, sold as the thing that would finally get your baby to sleep. In April of 2019, Fisher-Price recalled about 4.7 million of them after more than 30 infant deaths. By the time the recall was reannounced in 2023, the total was approximately 100 deaths. A congressional report found the company had known of 14 infant deaths a full year before pulling it. And the Bumbo floor seat, which props a baby upright before they can sit on their own. In August of 2012, Bumbo recalled around 4 million seats after the Consumer Product Safety Commission received at least 21 reports of infant skull fractures, mostly from babies tipping the seat off a raised surface. There is even the Smart Sock, the Owlet, a monitor that promised to track your baby's oxygen and heart rate while they slept, for peace of mind. In 2021, the Food and Drug Administration sent Owlet a warning letter, finding it was being sold as an unapproved medical device. And the original Smart Sock was pulled. A reworked version, the Dream Sock, only received proper FDA clearance in November of 2023. The lesson there is sharper than money. No monitor is a substitute for safe sleep. Here is the quiet truth connecting all of these. Congress eventually passed the Safe Sleep for Babies Act, signed in 2022, which outright banned inclined sleepers and crib bumpers. The government had to make a law. So why is it still on you to know all this? Because recalled products do not vanish. They live on for years at yard sales, on resale apps, and in hand-me-down boxes from well-meaning relatives. So let us make this genuinely useful, because knowing what to skip is only half the job. The other half is a simple habit that protects you from every single trap in this video. Here's the one rule that cuts through all of it. Before you buy anything, especially anything used, ask, what am I actually paying for? Is it the product or is it the refill? Is it the function or is it the marketing? The product isn't the problem, the refill is, and once you are asking that question at the shelf, the wipe warmers and the cartridge pails and the $90 sterilizers start to sort themselves out. Then, 3 concrete moves. First, for any used or older baby gear, spend 30 seconds at cpsc.gov, the official recall list. This is where the deadly items surface first, and it is free. If a lounger or an inclined sleeper or an old Bumbo shows up, you walk away. Second, resist the razor and blades products. When a device is suspiciously cheap, look immediately for what it forces you to keep buying. Third, and this is the responsible part I will not skip, there are 2 products where you must never let budget be the deciding factor, and we are about to get to them, because cheaping out there is the real mistake. And that is the mistake that undoes everything. Not overspending on a gadget, underspending, or buying risky secondhand on the 2 things that actually keep your baby alive. Now, before we get to those, there is one angle even careful, money-savvy parents almost always miss. And it flips the whole story. We have been talking about all the money the baby industry wants to pull out of your pocket. But there is one genuinely valuable product that most parents pay for out of pocket without realizing they do not have to: the breast pump. Under the Affordable Care Act, most private insurance plans in the United States are required to cover a breast pump and lactation support at no cost to you. And pumps are nearly universal now. A study from the Yale School of Medicine, analyzing federal data on nearly 20,000 mothers, found that just over 91% of American mothers reported ever using a breast pump. Before that law, parents routinely paid around $200 out of pocket. So the single most useful feeding product in the house is often the one you can get for free. And the waste is not buying it, it is not claiming it. That is the reframe. The baby industry is not just charging you for things you do not need. It is also quietly letting you pay for something you have already been given. So let us go back to where we started, to that cheap little device with the expensive refills and the idea underneath it, that the thing on the shelf is priced around your baby's needs. It is not. It is priced around your fear and your exhaustion. That is the assumption this whole video dissolves. The product isn't the problem, the refill is, and more broadly, the marketing is. Once you see that, you spend on purpose instead of on impulse. So where should that money actually go? Here are the 4 things a room full of pediatricians and veteran parents would tell you are worth every penny. The first is a good convertible car seat, and this is the one true non-negotiable. According to the Centers for Disease Control, car seats reduce the risk of injury in a crash by 71 to 82% for young children compared to a seat belt alone. Every seat sold in America must meet the same federal safety standard, which means even an inexpensive new one is safe. Budget should never decide this purchase. The second is a firm, flat crib or bassinet that meets the current federal standard. Not a lounger, not an incline, not a padded anything. Just a bare, firm, flat surface with a fitted sheet. The money people waste on positioners and bumpers and loungers is money that should simply never be spent, because the safest sleep space is also one of the cheapest. The third is that breast pump we just talked about, high value, precisely because the law likely makes it free. And the fourth is a good, hip-healthy baby carrier, one acknowledged by the International Hip Dysplasia Institute for supporting your baby's legs in that natural spread position. It keeps your hands free like all those gadgets promise to, but it does it while holding your baby close, which is what they actually need. If you want a fifth, nearly free option, a simple play mat for tummy time does more for your baby's development than any $100 activity center. None of this is about guilt. If you own a wipe warmer, if a food maker saved your sanity, you have not failed. Value is personal, and some of these things genuinely help some families. This is about spending on purpose. Skip the cheap thing with the expensive refill, claim the pump you already paid for, never gamble on the car seat or the crib, and remember the question that protects you every time. What am I actually paying for, the product or the refill? If this helped you look at that nursery aisle a little differently, subscribe and stick around, because we dig into the products in your home that nobody else is willing to question.